So this is a walk along the Cremorne Reservation in Sydney, next to the Sydney Harbour, on the 9th of October 2018. Got a beautiful late morning with the dappled sunlight, as you can see, and all the very green greenery. That's because Sydney had a deluge of rain. Hello there, nice dog. A deluge of rain, and then the sun came out, and hello to you too. And everything was a bit steamy and beautiful and very tropical. So this walk is not too far, but encapsulates some of the best views in Sydney, really. Down the stairs, you get to see the harbour on both sides, and yet it feels like you could be in some sort of tropical island. Looking out through the bay, through the trees to the boats moored there. Bit of work going along here, trying to revamp the vegetation. As you can see, you've got to be very careful, as it is environmentally sensitive. So you can't shout any loud words, because the plants don't like that. Back on the path, a little bit faster through here. And then you can see the glimpses of the boats in the bay. An old bit of wood chopped up. A plane going overhead. And a pedestrian. Hello. And even more interestingly, a brush turkey. These things wander about in Sydney. They're everywhere. And they're quite tame and quite bolshy. And you can get quite close to them, and they don't really don't seem to mind that much. They can fly if they want to, but half the time they don't. They just decide to run a bit faster. This one is ambling along, and I'm ambling on at the same pace. And I might just see if we get a bit closer and we can get some action out of this one. Mr. Brush Turkey. Mr. Turkey. And if we get too close, they go into warp speed. Warp speed 9. Brush Turkey. Back to the path now. A little bit uphill. A couple of cheery pedestrians. Hello.
Hello.
Very cheery, very nice. Nice people in Sydney. Sky is pretty blue. And as you can see, there's green, some grass. Very soon, a good view out to the boats. Let's go through this little moderate leafy tunnel. That's the first of the views, looking back towards Neutral Bay, and a lot of expensive boats sitting there in the harbour. A lot of them not used that much, hardly you see them go out at all. Particularly that big one over there, that's been just moored there, sat there the entire winter, never seen it move. Down through another lovely leafy bit, a bit faster. And of course the very steep sides, you don't want to fall down there. You end up straight in the drink. And I love these little tunnels. These little, it's like an English laneway when you drive down and you're encapsulated by the green. Rocks on the left. And some native barricading there, you can see, just grows naturally to your left. And we keep on going down through the beautiful green. Another natural barricade has sprung up here, beautiful colours. The lovely red, yellows, all natural. And this little grotto almost, with a cave area with a light. Or maybe that wasn't the cave area, maybe the one's coming up. Ah, there it is. Bit dark and dank. I don't think I want to spend a night there. Pushing down through the green area. Nice little bench if you wanted to sit there and look at the view. Lots of dogs on this path. Very popular for dog walking. Most of the dogs are very well behaved, and so are most of their owners. Down a slight incline now, or a decline. And we'll gradually get to a more open section where you can see more of the harbour on this very pretty day in Sydney. October 9th, 2018. It's got to be somebody's birthday somewhere. Happy birthday for October the 9th, 2018. I wonder how many people were born on October 9th, 2018. So it comes out here to the houses. You can see the houses up there, looking out across the harbour. Once again, all that expensive yachtage sitting there in the city in the distance. Sea is quite calm in this area of the harbour, although it gets a bit choppy when the wind comes up. And someone reading a book. I think it's a book, one of those old-fashioned things with pages strung together. So here's some of the expensive real estate that you can see here, looking out across the bay. The funny thing is, you hardly ever see anyone sitting on those balconies, which is amazing given how beautiful they are and the amazing view they've got. I mean, I have to say, of course, it was a weekday, so it wasn't a weekend, but even on a weekend, you just don't see that many people sitting there and making use of their very expensive balconies. God knows how much they cost per square metre. Gradually, as we come round, you can see the Opera House there in the distance and the Sydney Harbour Bridge. One of the best views in Sydney, really. And once again, there's that beautiful view. And we're going down to the pool now, the McCallum Pool, I think it's called, which is a pool in the harbour, filled with harbour water. So it's quite cool in the summer, but really bracing and refreshing, and all seawater. And there are some happy people down there looking out over to the Harbour Bridge, the Sydney Opera House, and the City of Sydney. That's enough of that. Let's turn around. Oh, tree trunk, tree roots, very good. Turn around, back up, and let's zoom on a bit to get on our walk. Turn around, and let's go a bit faster. That's good. And there it is again. You can see you just get more and more of the city as you get around the corner, and Neutral Bay doesn't get in the way so much. Beautiful flowers along here too. Bit of workmanship going on in the background there. I think you can see a ferry over there to the right, going through to Circular Quay in Sydney. A tree, a rock, a city, an opera house, a bridge, another tree, a smaller tree, a shrub, many lights. And let's go a bit faster now. So basically we go right to the end of Cremorne Point. Not quite to the end, because we're going to turn here, cross the road, avoid the woman on the left, and
yeah, it's back in the hunt. I was driving home and I was like, oh gosh, I need some like alone time.
funny listening to people's conversations as they walk around.
And it's like, sunny today. Oh, I have to go to the beach.
She's been very busy, that girl. Needed some private time, she said. So here's some more expensive real estate down the end. The last bit of houses on the Cremorne Point before we go down to the Cremorne Lighthouse. And very soon we're going to go around and turn left and turn around the other side and come back round towards Mossman. There's like this old one on the left, as you can see. Nice old place, beautiful bay windows. Probably a beautiful place to sit up there and watch the fireworks in Sydney Harbour on New Year's Eve, have a glass of wine. And that's the last building on the point, so you're never going to be built in there. I think it's a number of apartments. Follow the path around. To the right would take you down to the lighthouse. That's the jetty down there for the ferry. And we turn to the left, avoid the bin, and turn around the other side. So now we get a view of Mossman Bay, I think it's called, which is going to be where we're headed towards. It's just amazing the colours. Tropical, greeny, beautiful colours in Sydney, especially after all that rain, as I mentioned before. There it is, through the trees again. Across over there is Taronga Zoo. On a good day you might be able to hear the animals, but maybe not today. That's a better view there. Across to the ferry terminal at Taronga. In fact, that Taronga real estate's pretty amazing. I mean, the animals have got probably the best view in all of Sydney, and they don't have to pay for it. Very hard to get rent out of a giraffe. Bit more building going along here, as you can hear. The delightful sounds of chainsaws and angle grinders. Grinding angles. School holidays, so there are a few kids out today. Kids and dogs. And parents. And ankle grinders. Ah, don't you love those dogs? Fluffy, what is it, a Labrador or is it a golden retriever? They're my favourites. Look at that big tail. The child's a bit nervous. Get out of the way! Some more of the beautiful gardens that they're working along here. Beautiful plants. Beautiful green. Let's zoom now through the bush. Yeah, this is one of my favourite walks for calming down, listening to a podcast perhaps, just enjoying what Sydney has to offer. All of it completely free, which is the best part. Once again, you can see all those expensive boats through there, a rock, and some more beautiful vegetation. Oh, let's get clever with the camera work. It's amazing what an iPhone can do, really, isn't it? Couldn't do that 20 years ago. Another walker there. It's funny, it's not a pedestrian, is it? A pedestrian's only a pedestrian when they're in contact with cars. Otherwise, they're a walker. I think that was a seaplane going overhead. Oh, now these two. These two little girls. I think they're a bit nervous about me walking up to them. Well, 6-foot man, looking suspicious, camera. Some more of the beautiful gardens along the way. I don't know who looks after it, or is the council, or... Oh, very thirsty. So here they are, these two. A little bit nervous. Who's coming up behind them? No! Oh dear! Oh, we've got to get out of the way. Who's he filming? What's going on? Oh dear. But then they started to talk. What they said is, when I get older, I don't want to drink. And the other one said, what, champagne? Yeah, she said, because you get really drunk. Obviously, a little bit of learned behaviour from the parents there, I imagine. Let's push through. Down past, whoop. Here comes some traffic. Let's get to one side. Hello. One wants to wave. Once again looking over to Mossman. More boats. You come around this little corner and then there's a beautiful place to sit. Oh, hello. To the right, just looking down under the tree. Perfect place to sit and have a chat. And there it is. Isn't that beautiful? Fantastic place just to gaze at the world, relax, have a chat. Those stairs lead down to the ferry. The ferry, which I think we can just see. And there it is, on its way back to Circular Quay. Through the bushes. Well, it's not going through the bushes. We can see it through the bushes. There it is. The ferry. Avoiding the expensive yachts and other pleasure craft. Oh, sorry, this is right. This is where the ferry terminal is down here at the bottom, which is where it's just left. And let's go quickly up here and get a bit further up the hill. And whoops, oh, missed you. Look at you, you little sweet thing. Hello. Oh, okay, goodbye. Bit of nature there. Bit of fauna. Let's push on now through a slight incline. Oh, fancy we're going to see quite a few walking people at a moment, in a group of them. I can hear them coming. You know they're walkers because they've got their little walking spikes in case of extreme terrain. Not extreme terrain.
So he's got a mind for designing.
Hello. Hello.
He doesn't know all that. He doesn't know that.
Nothing worse than an extreme terrain. One of those awful patés. Yep. A few more walkers there.
No, I think.
Let's get creative. How about us imagine we're on the railing there? Yeah, that's fun. Let's shimmy up, zip, and up to the top. Breathing a bit heavily there too. It's a little bit steep. From there you can look across to the Mossman Rowers, which is where we're going to end up, and hopefully have some lunch. But that beautiful place is a place you can sit and look out. I saw some workmen there once. Probably the best place to have lunch for a workman ever. Look at that. Stunning. Beautiful view. And onwards and upwards. Let's push through here. Go down a little bit. We end up in one of my favourite spots in this walk. A little grotto of tropicalness at the bottom of this section here. If you go left, you can go back up to the other parts of Cremorne. But if you go straight ahead and avoid the dog, you come to this little gully which is so rainforesty, so wet and moist. And to our left, in a moment, we're just going to see a brush turkey's mound. This is where I think the male creates this mound by pushing all the leaves up. There'll be some eggs in there, I think. Or soon to be eggs. Let's go across this not so rickety bridge, across the raging torrent of the creek, past the ferns, past the trees. and then we'll head around to the Mossman Rowers. Once again, you get a great view back through the bay and down to what is really a little private beach when it's low tide. Whoop, hello, excuse me, sorry about that.
Thank you.
Great view. Look at that, clean, beautiful sand. Pretty nice private pool there that someone owns. And all around you this amazing oxygen, the greenness. They're all pumping out oxygen. And I'm pumping out carbon dioxide. Sure, it'd be nice to have one of those boats, but hell of a lot of work. Costs a lot, I think. Probably best just to know someone who has one of those boats. That's the best thing. Then you just get off and say, thanks so much. And they do all the cleaning and pay all the bills. That's what they always say. Don't have a boat yourself? Know someone who has a boat. Not long till we finish on our adventure together on this walk around Cremorne Point. As you can see, quite a lot of water on the track, left over from all the rain that Sydney's been having, which it needs at this point. 2018 in October, been very dry. Dam levels down to 62% from something like 86. There's even a desalination plant where they're trying to fire up, which hasn't worked for years. We haven't needed it, and I guarantee you, as soon as we do fire it up, the place will be deluged in more rain. That's the way it works. You've got to challenge the gods by firing up your desalination plant. And down we go, down, 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 down. Another little bridge of sorts. I think the point of doing this is so, if you're thinking of doing it, you've already experienced it, and if you can't do it because you're on the other side of the world, well, you don't have to do it now. It's almost as good as being there, isn't it? You can feel that you've walked the Cremorne Point Trail. Down here is the Mossman Rowers, who do a really good fish and chips for lunch. I must admit I'm a bit famished, but having said that, fish and chips, a hell of a lot of calories in that. That must be about 3,500 kilojoules. The walk wouldn't have got rid of anything near that, so maybe I won't do that. Maybe a light beer. Something, anyway, to celebrate the end of our walk today on the 9th of October, 2018.